Hello and welcome to this week's weekly psychic forecast video for week commencing the 24th of October 2022. Now we are candlelit today because we're currently experiencing a power cut here after an electrical storm, which has been quite fun. We've had hail and all sorts, so I decided we're just going to roll with it because it makes a really nice ambience anyway. Okay. If you hear cheering at any point, that's probably because the electric just came back on and the neighbours are happy, so I apologise in advance. So what we will do is, as always, we will go day by day, looking at each day of the week, starting off with an overview of the week, and then at the end we'll have a spiritual guidance message for us all, so stay tuned for that. So let's dive on in with the overview for this week. We have our cards laid out here. We have Peace, number 20, Renewal, number 46, Peacock Spirit, Let It Shine, and number 63, Vulture Spirit, Nothing is Wasted. And it's a very interesting energy to kick us off this week because it feels very much like a new beginning. Perhaps the calm after the storm, I want to say, rather than the calm before the storm. It feels like we've been through a lot. And now it's kind of time to reassess where we go now. It's something of a peaceful energy, but that can cause anxiety if we're not sure what we're doing, or we may feel nervous about moving on to something new. We may feel anxious about a new beginning, whether it's in work, relationships, in family, whatever the change is in your life that you may actually want the change, but you may be afraid to do it at the moment. It may be the most positive, wonderful thing you can do, but it could still be scaring the pants off you. Which is okay, that's completely acceptable. We're allowed to be afraid. But the message here is very much one of, try to find the peace, try to find the lesson in everything, of course, but know that it's okay. It is time to move in a new direction. It is time to do things a little bit differently now moving onwards. But also the reminder here with nothing is wasted, the vulture spirit, none of the things that you've done so far were with no point. Everything that's happened to you, everything that you've done, achieved, worked on, worked at, that's all been for a very important spiritual reason. You may have been in certain jobs or certain relationships, locations, to help other people. You may have been there to learn something for yourself, to expand your own knowledge or to grow your own empathy, to increase your own personal skills, or it may just have been something on your karmic path. So there's a very strong reminder here that nothing happens for, without a reason. Everything has happened to you for a reason. And now it feels like it's very much time to step up and shine. It feels like we're moving into a more peaceful era. Those of us in the soul groups that have been moving forwards faster, some of us are conscious that we've been moving forwards faster because we want to evolve. That has been our focus. We've wanted very much to develop ourselves spiritually, psychically, mediumistically. We may want to genuinely help and heal the world. And I feel that we are stepping into a new opportunity now. Many of us will have that new opportunity in one way, shape or form, and it is going to be different for everybody. But it is time to shine. So I do want to say, don't back away from the change. Okay, let your heart lead on that 4610-1. Let your heart lead the transformation because it knows what it's doing. And also bring in the third eye, bring in that intuition as well. There's a lot of the beautiful darker indigo blues here as well, speaking to me of the third eye chakra. It's a very, very good week to wear certain crystals such as lapis lazuli, and I want to say Larimar as well, which is actually an Atlantean stone, which is a paler blue, which we normally would associate with the throat chakra rather than the third eye, but this one feels pertinent here at the moment. So interesting times. It's definitely going to be an interesting week. There's a sacredness to it here as well with the 63-9. There's some sacred numerology coming in here. It feels almost like there's a new opportunity being presented to you. There is a new possibility for you that's being presented to your heart, and it's up to you whether you want to say yes or no to it at the moment. And I feel as well that there is no wrong answer here. It's not a case of you have to do this now or it'll never happen. It's very much the opportunities here. Do you feel ready to take it? And I think that's the overarching message for this week. So let's just get a couple of spirit message cards. Here's what we've got. Get up and go do the thing. Well, that speaks for itself. Fertile soil grows the best carrots. And don't try to force it. Oh, and this one just fell out too. So, healsome whole. Yes, I did make up that word. Okay, so very interesting cards here as well, because it is very much, yes, it's the moment to get going. Don't shy away from it if it's something that you want to do, have, achieve, be. Don't shy away from the opportunity just because it feels too big, or because there may be a fear of success coming through. Fear of failure is something that we're all aware of, but fear of success, I feel, is something that we're not so aware of. It's not so spoken of, but it is the right moment if that's what you want to do. And I feel that whatever it is you're going to be doing, it is going to be part of a healing path. It is about becoming more whole. There is a holistic element coming in here, and whatever it is going to be helping the world to be more whole as well, you know, and to do that heart repair, that heart healing that desperately needs to be done for so many people right now. And there is the reminder, and it's interesting with the card fertile soil grows the best carrots. It just reminded me that, you know, what do we what do we make our soils fertile with? With manure. Okay, so nothing is wasted. Even the manure goes on the garden, and guess what? It's the shit we've been through that actually lays us in good stead for the next experience. So, you know, it can really be a blessing in disguise. But at the same time, don't try to run before you can walk. You don't have to try and force it now. Yes, there is an opportunity, but you absolutely don't have to try and go too quickly with this. Okay, take it at your own pace, one step at a time, gently, gently, softly, softly, catchy monkey. Okay. And it comes in on 52.7 as well, which I just wanted to mention here. So it is very much about making choices from intuition and then the brain having to catch up. So be aware of that. Maybe that your heart's already there, your intuition's already there, but your mind is lagging a bit behind going, really? Really? You want us to do that? So be very gentle with yourself, be very kind and understanding with yourself and your mind as well. Because remember, it's a very sort of lowly, earthly part of us, the human mind. And it takes a while for it to appreciate what's happening. So overall, I think we've got a very interesting week ahead of us. It will be, with my pumpkin there, it will be interesting to see where it takes us. So please do come back and, you know, leave me a comment. Let me know what the new opportunity is for you. I'd be fascinated to hear what's going on in your life. So let's go day by day now, days of the week. Let's move to Monday. Monday's cards, we have Independence, Six of Earth, and 66. So look at that, 666. Let's not all freak out. Very sacred numerology with 666. As you'll know if you watched my 666 video with Chrissy, it's not what you might think it is as numbers go. There is an incredibly positive aspect to those numbers, as there is for every number. It has a positive aspect and then a negative aspect, and it's up to us how we perceive it or which aspect we choose to actually dwell in. So Monday, very interesting. Yes, it may be a day that really takes you out of your comfort zone, and it could be to do with work, career, business, study, school, but it's all centered around money. I feel it does center around money, but about balancing finances. Absolutely, with this cute little pair of scales here where the little fairy is balancing those coins, those pentacles. But there's more to it than that, because it feels as though you may have an idea or an inspiration that you know will work. It feels like you want to go a little bit outside of the box. You want to colour outside of the lines here on Monday. And although there is this need to earn the right amount of money, pay off a debt, you know, honour your commitments, at the same time, there is this message to trust in the magic, to trust your intuition, to trust the magical universe that's bringing this opportunity to you. So even if the opportunity doesn't seem ideal financially, or if it's not going to pay off straight away, perhaps, you know, you may still have to do other things at the same time. You know, not all of us are in a financial position to make a leap of faith. We can't always do that. Nonetheless, I feel the financial opportunity will come in time if you step forwards and you take your first step on Monday. And it is a fiery, creative energy coming in with the Independence Dragon. It's very exciting. Look at him. I mean, he's full of fire. It's a little bit scary there. So, you know, this opportunity may be frightening in some ways, but I think at the same time, the opportunity will be one that can support you on the longer term. You just maybe won't see it straight away, but there will be this belief in you, I feel, that you will know that that is what you want to do for some people. For others, it will just be that there is a need to trust in your intuition a little bit more. It may not be to do with money for everybody. Obviously, this is a group reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I feel for a lot of people it is to do with lifestyle, career, money, education, debt. For others, it will just literally be about magic. It will literally be about the divine, I think, stepping into your life in a new way, in a greater way, and steering you in a different way. So it may be about how you spend your money, maybe a little bit different, or how you live your life, in a very concrete sense. Maybe being led from the heart a little bit more and a bit less from the head, I feel, for some people there. So let's get a couple of little spirit messages here. Lord and Lady Fire, don't mind if I do. The road is long. Yes, okay. So beautiful balance of the masculine and feminine energies here. Now, the candles I have out, I sort of had to grab the candle holders that I had to one side. I've got my little rose ones here, which are quite sweet. And these are actually, you can't tell, I don't think, that's metallic silver and that's metallic gold. These are my god and goddess candles from my altar. So when I set up any sort of altar, I don't have a permanent altar. I have these candles, these two together. So very interesting that we've got the masculine and feminine energies coming in here on that very balanced 12-3. But it's fire. Lord and Lady Fire are the balanced energies that can take you forwards, that can lead you to a new order in your life, a new way of doing things, you know, a new way of living. And it is very exciting. It does feel very different, very new, very exciting. And I've just dropped a card, so I'm going to see what it is, because that one wants to come out to play too. Remember who you are. I am, yes, on 11-2. There's a lot of wisdom coming in here, a lot of wisdom coming through fire. The element of fire, I think, is one that perhaps we overlook when it comes to wisdom. There is much wisdom in fire. You know, you can use the flame of a candle for scrying. You know, you can gaze into the flame and get messages that way. You can gaze into a fire and get messages that way. So it may be that that's something that you want to explore on Monday, gazing into the fire to see what shapes, what inspiration comes to you as you do that. Something that I very much enjoy doing. I have to be a bit careful when I look in a fire because I start to see things, start to see a lot. So, obviously do it consciously and then write down your results. But there is this reminder as well that life is a marathon, not a sprint. So you don't have to do everything instantaneously. It's not all about, got to do it now, push, hurry. You know, all of that nonsense that we're encouraged to be productive, to be fast, get it done, deadlines. You know, that's the ridiculous world that we've been told we live in, but it's extremely unnatural. The natural world does not run like that. It doesn't rush. It takes its time, and it knows that everything happens in time, in divine timing, or it doesn't. And this very artificial, very pushy energy that we're forced to exist in right now, which is so unnatural for us. You know, it makes us think that we have to do everything now. We have to achieve everything now. We have to have all the certificates now. We have to have all the achievements. We have to get to the top as fast as possible. We have to be a millionaire before we're 25. You know, it's just too much. It's ridiculous. We need to calm down. We need to lower the anxiety level. We need to lower the levels of stress. Okay, and we can only do that when we remember but this is a marathon, not a sprint, so stop sprinting. Okay, and that's on 29-11-2. So again, we've got that 11, that very wise and balanced number, the pillars of the temple coming in there, the 11-2 energy. With goddess energy there as well. So very interesting day. Very interesting day, Monday. So again, do let me know how that goes for you. If something exciting happens, if there's something interesting going on in your life, please do come back and leave me a comment. I'd always love to hear what's happening for you guys. And I do really love this little bird here. It's a very, very sweet little thing, but he's white and most ravens are black. So obviously he's a little bit of an anomaly. So the day itself might almost feel like an anomaly in some ways. It might feel like, wait a minute, this isn't how things are supposed to be. It's a bit of a strange day, but I think it's going to be a very insightful one. So Tuesday's cards. We have Nutrition Dragon, the Ace of Fire, and number 20, the Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. Wow, okay. Well, following on from yesterday's energy, from Monday's energy, it's interesting. So I want to say, yes, there is a new opportunity. And I was talking about new career opportunities, and if we wanted to actually do it on Monday, and Tuesday could be the moment when the door is actually open, you know, and it's literally the offer is on the table and it's up to you to take that first step. So that is going to be interesting to see what actually happens here. But it is about life changes as well, new beginnings. There's a lot of optimism here with the Ace of Fire. It's very optimistic. It's like genie in a bottle type of energy here. So what do you want to ask for? You know, what nourishes your soul? What is it that you genuinely want? What nourishes your heart? What feeds your soul? You know, and it's not, with the dolphin reminds us that, you know, we can have, I don't want to say cake, we can have our spirituality and our sort of day-to-day life as well. The two are not mutually exclusive. And I think it's easy to forget that, you know, those of us that do a lot of spiritual or healing work or meditation, we can kind of go off on one sometimes and we forget that, you know, that the real world exists. You know, on that sort of dreamy number 20, we go into the feminine energy, or we start to really reject the modern world. I know a lot of people who are healers who literally reject a lot of technology. They want nothing to do with it, which is a shame, because I think they fail to see the other side of it, which is that technology can really help mankind. It can be very useful for the world. You know, it can do a lot of good. Yes, you can do bad with it, but the same could be said of a stick or fire. You can do good with it, you can do bad with it, but a stick and fire are as old as the hills, you know. So this is not unique to new technology. There is also the lesson here that we do need to adapt ourselves as spiritual beings. No, we can't have all of those cards, that's silly. We do need to adapt, we need to grow, and we need to learn to be these spiritual beings in this modern world. And that is our biggest achievement right now. It's learning to be the mystic, learning to be the spiritual person in the modern world. Because we can't go back to ancient Greece, I'm afraid. You know, you might want to be an oracle in ancient Greece. Yeah, I've been there. I've wanted to do that. But you can't. You can't turn back time. You're here in this lifetime right now, and your job is to be what you are in this lifetime, right now, in this era, in this age. And how are you going to do it? What are you going to make it look like? How are you going to put your personal stamp on things? Because there is very little couldn't think of the word, example to follow right now. We don't have people who've come before us particularly, because this technological age has really come on ever so fast. You know, we've kind of been thrown into it, and my generation were the first ones to literally be thrown into it, really. But we still know the old ways. I'm part of a micro generation called the Zennials. We're halfway between X and Y. So we had an analog upbringing, analog childhood, but a digital adulthood. So when we were teenagers, it was all coming in and we were learning it at school. But we didn't learn it at primary school. You know, it's a very, very interesting age. So it's all new. No one came before us to teach us this stuff. We were the first ones having to do it as we grew up. And I think, yeah, I love it. It's okay to play and explore. You don't have to know everything. And that is one of the most important lessons now. And it comes in on this too, that is all about experiencing. It's all about experiencing the different extremes of things, the different poles of things. Oh, I'm going to try over here now. Oh, I'm going to try over there now. Oh, I'm going to live in a hot country. I'm going to live in a cold country. You know, it is all about learning and exploring, and that is what we're here to do. And I think a lot of people who consider themselves spiritual or holistic, or who want to help and heal other people, because they have some knowledge, they think that for some reason they should have all the knowledge and they should act like they know it all, or they act like they know everything. And I think that attitude comes from the school system, comes from academia, because boy, don't teachers act like they know it all. Well, some of them do. I don't want to insult all of the teachers watching, but you know, there's always those teachers who act like they know it all, who we've all experienced that in schools, being shamed for not knowing something, being laughed at by the teacher, and all the kids being encouraged to laugh with you, although you knew perfectly well not one of those children knew, or students knew knew what it was either, but you were the person brave enough to ask the question when everyone else was keeping quiet. So it is about learning on Tuesday as well. Remembering that achievements come in all shapes and sizes on 53.8, and that, you know, the learning never ends in this lifetime, and growth starts small. The learning never ends, and that is what's so exciting about this lifetime. You know, there are cycles within cycles within cycles upon cycles upon cycles. So it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, you could be 95 watching my video, and I hope there are some 100-year-old people out there watching my video. Why not? I think it'd be great. it's never too late to learn something new. You can pick up a book, you can listen to an audio, watch a video. You can always learn something new. There's always opportunity to learn something new or to move yourself in a new direction. But it is very much about what nourishes you. And the nutrition card, I don't want to talk so much about the body and physical nutrition, although there may be an element of that that's highlighted today for some people, so I don't want to gloss over it altogether. But it does feel more than just eat your greens. Yes, eat your greens. But at the same time, where are you green? You know, where do you need to learn more? Where do you need to expand? What do you want to learn? You know, what have you started to learn maybe that you put to one side? It may be time to pick it back up again. And again, are you aiming too low? 28, 10, 1. There's this opportunity for expansion, for discovery here on 28, 10, 1. It's quite exciting. There's a possibility for change here, which comes in with the Ace of Fire energy, which matches the Ace of Fire energy really nicely actually with that arrow. So there is a huge, huge potential for Tuesday, for this day. It's very, very exciting energy. We don't have to know it all to take a new direction. We don't have to have achieved fully the last thing we were doing to move on to something else. You know, you don't have to have done something to death before you're allowed to move on to the next thing. You don't have to finish your whole dinner before you have the chocolate cake. I'm giving you permission to eat the chocolate cake straight away as soon as you're ready to, or even before your dinner if that's how you want to do it. It doesn't matter. It's okay to do that now. You know, those rules of the old world just don't apply anymore, and it's about finding these new ways of doing things, and maybe leveraging ancient information from Soul as well, with the dolphin bringing in some Atlantean energy there as well. I feel there will be some ancient wisdom coming through that you have the potential to reconnect with there. So it's going to definitely be an interesting day. There is opportunity, but there is also a reminder that you don't have to get everything right first time. So if you want to try the new thing, do the new thing. So let's move on to Wednesday now. Oh, the cards going everywhere. Try to escape. Okay. Right. So, right, Wednesday cards. We have New World, the King of Water, and we have number 8, Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery. Now this is some exciting energy right here. Okay, wow, very earthy energy here with these browns and greens. So a lot of this I think is actually to do with real world stuff rather than the higher level stuff that very often we talk about in these readings. This is real world stuff. It feels like your help is needed with the King of Water because he's very compassionate. You know, he is a humanitarian at the end of the day. You can be that person that helps others, you know, and it's a shame because philanthropy has a bit of a bad name because we know that millionaires do it as a tax dodge, or they do it because they have their own agenda and they want to manipulate other people, you know, and that can really put a dampener on things for some of us and make us think less of doing that sort of thing. But there is a real call here on Wednesday to actually help other people, to help build the new world that we want. And that's what I keep talking about. Not the new world order, not the new prison system, the neo-feudalism that certain people would want us to have. No, it's time for you to step up and be the loving king of your life. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female or whatever. This is very much about looking to the world around you, looking to see who needs your help, and remembering that there is way more to this lifetime and to life in general than we could possibly know, because the Bobcat reminds us life is a mystery. It's always going to throw you a curveball. Just when you think you've got the hang of it, it's going to throw you a curveball. It's going to make things a bit interesting. But regardless, on that number 8, yes, it keeps going, it never stops, it never ends. But 8 can be exhausting energy. We can get very, very tired at 8. So look out for who is tired around you, for who is exhausted, trying to keep going. Maybe they're reliving old patterns and they just need you to say, actually, have you thought of doing it this way? Have you thought of putting down the bag of rocks? It might be easier to walk along without it. It feels like it may be a day to actually step up and be some sort of leader, maybe to offer counselling or a listening ear to somebody that you care about, or somebody in your community, somebody that you're aware of. and to just reach out a hand to help other people, because that is how we build this new world. We build it through community. We build it through supporting one another. We build it through coming from the heart and genuinely wanting to help each other. And I can actually feel my heart chakra activating as I say that. So it feels very, very important. That is what we're going to be doing. I give thanks for my many blessings. Beautiful. Yes, there's a real energy here of thanks, of abundance, of gratitude, but reaching out and helping others as well, because we are not alone on this journey. And there are many other people who have helped us in our lifetime. And what I always say when it comes to the universe returning help, if somebody has helped us, we may not be able to return the help to that person because they may just simply not need it, or there may not be an opportunity for us to return that help to them, or we may not be capable of doing anything that would particularly help them. But that doesn't matter, because we can return the favour to somebody else. The energy doesn't have to go back in the direction of that person. It can go to the next person. You can pay it forwards to somebody else. And that's what I would encourage you to do today. Pay it forwards, okay? And not as like a trick to think, oh, well, my abundance work, my manifesting work is going to go really well because I'm going to pay these 10 things forwards, then the universe has to give me something, because that's manipulative and that's manipulation. So if you are doing things to be manipulative, then the universe is going to return that in other people manipulating you. So be very careful when you do that, that you are doing it for the right reasons. Because I have met people in the spiritual community before now who do things for the wrong reasons because they think they know the laws of the universe. Oh, well, this happens, so I'm going to give this to this person and help that person because then the universe has to reward me by giving me what I want. And that's a horrible, selfish way of doing things. Yes, you may seem selfless to other people by doing it that way, but boy, the universe knows better because it can see what's in your heart. You know, God knows what's really going on with you. God, Goddess really knows what's in your heart, and they can see. So you don't get away with that sort of attitude, that sort of narcissism of thinking, yeah, I know better than the universe, I can get one over on the universal laws. Because that is what the dark controllers have been trying to do for a long time. They've been trying to use universal law to get one over on the universe and manipulate things so that they get what they want. But guess what? It's not working for them. It's falling apart now. You know, it worked for a little while in a certain energy, but it always comes around. That energy always comes back around again. And it's the same when, you know, when you've helped somebody else, okay, when you've helped somebody else and you think, well, the universe says that, you know, things always come back to me, so why hasn't that person offered something in return? Well, like we said, they may not be capable of offering you anything useful in return, or they may not have the energy to do that. They may not be the right person to offer you help and support. So that help and support may come around from somebody else, from somewhere else, from a different direction. And that's okay, because that's how it works. The problem is, and I talked about this in my book about the law of attraction. I'll link below if you haven't read it. The problem is we're expecting it to come back from that source. So when it comes from over here, very often we reject it and say, no, I'm good. That person owes me. But that's not how it works. That's not how energy flows. So be careful today. I want to say be a little bit cautious. Look at your own reflection. Look very carefully at yourself and why you're doing things. Let's try to stay away from trying to do spiritual things for the wrong reasons, you know, for self-serving reasons. And it's okay to want to help yourself. You know, absolutely okay, but it's not okay to manipulate others, to manipulate energy in, I want to say, in a sort of a sneaky, snide way. That's not okay. It's not okay to be sneaky. It is okay to do the right thing for the right reasons. It's not okay to do the right thing for questionable reasons. So be very, very honest with yourself today. Very honest with yourself. Look at exactly what you're doing in your life and why you're doing it. So if you have been helping somebody, or if you've had a friendship with somebody where you're helping them, or you feel like you're the sort of superior one in the relationship, take a very good look at yourself. You know, if you're thinking, oh yes, I stay friends with this person because they actually make me feel better about myself, and I enjoy helping them because, you know, it makes me feel good because they're so lowly or incompetent, and there are definitely people like that. So make sure it's not you. It's an easy pattern to fall into. But slow down to speed up. So take a moment, take a moment and see what you can do to genuinely bring help to the world. Because it may simply be that you need to have a rest, so that you can better help other people. But it is a beautiful day for any sort of gratitude practice, for manifesting work. Very nice energy for that today. very intuitive energy. We've got 3223 here. It's a very nice mirror image with the little mirror below. So the mirror feels like a very strong theme today. So see what's being mirrored back to you from people, places, things, and interactions at the moment, because I think it's going to be quite a revealing day. So let's move on to Thursday now. Right, pop these away. And we will get Thursday's cards. We have the Universe Dragon. We have number 13, Release, Archangel Azrael. And 61, Turkey Spirit, Give with Gratitude and Grace. A lot of alliteration on G there, very nice. Very nice indeed, 61-7, 13-4. Okay, so let's take a look at the energy for Thursday. Oh, it is about giving and receiving. It's very much carrying on from Wednesday's energy, Wednesday's theme about giving and receiving, and how the energy flows throughout the universe and how things are much bigger than us as well. So it may be a nice day to actually look at the stars. I like to do that sometime, you know, when we actually have clear skies here in the UK. I like to look at the stars. And it helps to remind me how small and insignificant I am in so many ways, and it's sort of awe-inspiring. It's reassuring as well, because it reminds you that what you do really doesn't matter. You can do anything. You're here to play. You're here to have a good time. You know, the stars aren't going to fall down because you made a decision to buy red socks instead of blue socks. You know. Playtime. Playtime is here, definitely. Universal playtime, cosmic playtime. It's going to be fun. So. Wow, yes, and the 13 card, the death card, comes in. It is the end of a phase, end of a situation. It's a transformative day. It may be that your hand is actually forced on Thursday, I feel. There may be something ending that maybe you didn't want to. Maybe as simple as a series you've been binge watching coming to an end. But there is a reminder here to give thanks for all of our blessings, all of the things that we receive, all of the things that are given to us when they're then over, when they're taken away, when they move away from us, when that experience is over. It's okay, because the universe is so vast. We can't stay in one experience because we've got so many other exciting experiences to have. And I think that's the message for Thursday today. There's great wisdom coming in on the 61-7 there as well, the individual experiencing the universal heart, I want to say here, and that there is never anything wasted. You know, again, it's that message from earlier on in the week, nothing goes to waste with it. I think it was the vulture spirit. Nothing goes to waste. You know, everything happens for a reason, and the only constant in this lifetime for us is change. Change is okay. Change brings us new opportunities. Change is very, very positive in many ways, even if it's difficult, even if it feels sad, even if we need to grieve afterwards. Ultimately, it's all right, and it is how it's meant to be. So, what is truth and where does it lie? What does love mean to you? Oh, wow. These are kind of sister cards, these two. Because when I wrote what is love, what does love mean to you? You can actually replace the word love with anything. What does life mean to you? You know, what does happiness mean to you? That's why I underlined the word here, and that's what I had in mind, but it's difficult to express that in writing on a card. But we have it on that number 8, the number of eternity. In some ways, it's the number of infinite possibility as well, which is why I think 8 can be a very prosperous number. It can bring us a lot of money. But what is truth and where does it lie? And what does that truth mean to you? Okay, look for higher truths today, because I think there are a lot of spiritual lessons coming in from higher realms that we can observe even in very mundane, very day-to-day activities. So it's going to be a very interesting day just to quietly observe what's going on around you. Yes, you can absolutely participate in life today. Of course you must, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do. But at the same time, pay attention to what people are saying, to how they're acting and reacting. See what endings are happening around you. It'll be interesting to see on a political level what's actually going on Thursday in the world. But also, I want to actually bring these numbers together. I want to go 30 plus 8. I want to go to 38 for some reason there as well. I'm guided to do. So it's 38 brings us to 11 twos. That there's a lot of wisdom in the system on Thursday. There's a lot of wisdom if we take the time to slow down and actually observe it and apply it to our own lives. So wisdom is knowledge applied. So apply what you know, observe what's happening around you, and think about, you know, and feel, not just think with the lower mind, think with the higher mind, with the heart. What does this mean for you? You know, there may be something inconvenient or some change happening at work or in your family, and you might think, you know, your first impulse might be that a program starts running in your head that goes, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to be difficult. I'm going to be disagreeable about this. But the truth is, you don't have to react that way. You can take a moment and choose how to act. So one of the messages for Thursday is act, don't react. Okay, pay attention first. And rainbow light becomes white. Wow, I love this card. It comes in on a transformational 10. Ties in very beautifully with the number 13 release card energy. Because all of the numbers are the numbers, going off on numerology now, all of the colours of the rainbow come together to create white light. And when we split white light, it becomes all of these different amazing colours, you know, this whole spectrum, some of which I'm sure we can't even see. I'd love to be able to see the colours we can't see. But there is so much to this universe, you know, and all is one and one is all, ultimately. So there are no wrong decisions in life other than choosing not to live. I want to say that that's the only wrong decision that we can ever really make, and even then it might be a karmic decision. But I want to say, oh yeah, be still. Yeah, take a moment on Thursday. You know, if you can't meditate, just do more listening than talking on Thursday. You know, if you work in an office, you work around other people, or you are around other people in various situations, in the supermarket, wherever you happen to be, observe other people, see what they're teaching you, see what patterns that they're running that you can observe and think, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to run that program. I can see that that's just old programming that they're running there that isn't helping. The universe is way more vast than that. And as human beings, we are stuck. It's almost like we're stuck on train tracks right now, but we're not trains. It feels like energetically we've been forced onto these train tracks, onto this very narrow worldview, very narrow life view, life path that the dark controllers are trying to force us into, and we're not allowed to even see what's outside of it, let alone know what the other options are. And if we do try to deviate from the tracks, you know, we might be outcast, we might be ridiculed, we might be shamed. They might make it very difficult for us to live. But that's why it's so important for us to be aware of the boxes that we all live in right now. So let's take a moment to observe that around us. Be still and look at our own shadow and see where we can actually grow and be more one with the universe. So we're going to move on to Friday now. So Friday's cards, we have Decision, we have the 10 of Air, and we have number 12, Canary Spirit, Sing Your Own Song. Now, isn't that the theme for this week? We've just been talking about. Yes, I think so. It is time to make that decision. A very, very big decision. Friday. It may just be, you know, whether you want a donut or a Danish pastry with your coffee at break time. But there are great improvements coming in life from Friday. Off the back of Friday's energy, there's good stuff. The 10 of the 10 of Air is the end of the difficult situation. You know, it's about starting anew, recovering from the difficulties that we've just been through as well. You know, it's about learning to be positive and knowing that something better can come. So there is positivity around. There's also, I'm aware that Friday is the 28th, and I think that's the last day of the current Prime Minister in the UK, Liz Truss. I think that's her last day, the 28th, or there may be somebody new stepping in on that day. So again, it is about making decisions and change. And I think whatever's going to happen on the 28th here with our own PM, I think it is going to be a positive change. I think it is going to be positive, even if it doesn't look like it on the surface. There's going to be a lot of relief in the system. I think some people will be happy with the change with whoever comes in. But number 12, we've got the Canary Spirit. Very regal energy, so maybe even a royal influence coming in here as well. But it is going to be freeing on some level for the people. I'm not exactly sure how that will come about. It may be that someone comes in who's an absolute dictator and, you know, the people then rise up against them and find more freedom for themselves by demanding it. Or it may be that the person actually comes in who wants to bring more freedom, who wants to genuinely help people. Because we do have number 12, which is the number of perfect governance here on Friday. So there is a potential here for a much better political situation, not just in the UK, but in other countries as well. Throughout the world, of course, but we must decide how we choose to see it. We must decide how we choose to live our lives as well, that we don't put our lives on hold, you know, thinking, well, I'll wait to do this in case the government does that, you know, or I'll wait to experience this in case that happens. I'll wait to do this, you know, I'll save these clothes for best, and then you never wear them, you know, and you end up being buried in them. I don't know if you've heard that story, you know, I'm just going to save this outfit for best. I'll never wear it. And then, you know, you end up wearing it in your coffin. And what was the point? You know, do the thing, go do it now. So there is improvement in the system on Friday, regardless of how it may look, because this decision dragon looks pretty scary. Look at him. He's not the most handsome of dragons. Sorry, mate, you're not. He looks almost some Aries energy here with these beautiful sort of horns coming off him. That evokes this astrological symbol of Aries for me. So there may be something going on astrologically to do with Aries there. Or it may just be that we have to be quite Aryan in our thinking. You know, we have to be quite forceful. We have to be prepared to do our own thing, make our own decisions. Aries know their own mind. You know, they know what they want to do, even if it's stupid, and they're going to do it. And they don't care what you think. So there is that kind of bullheaded energy that comes in a little bit with the Aries there. Aries the ram. And it wants to push forwards regardless. It wants to make its own decision. It doesn't want to be told what to do. So it's going to definitely be an interesting day on the world stage. Interesting day on Twitter, I think. Okay, so let's just take a few of these cards, see what else we have here. Oh, taking full responsibility for your life brings freedom. Well, yes, absolutely. Making those decisions brings freedom. Shadow healing as well. 61 on that. We had a 61, didn't we, a moment ago? I forget. So 51 and 61. So there's ones coming in here. Very interesting. So we've got the 60 energy. So we've got the heart, but we've also got the mind here. Heart and mind combined. Very interesting, bringing choices, bringing adventure. So there is an adventurous feel for Friday's energy here. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Some of us will literally be facing some shadow aspects of ourselves, healing aspects of ourselves, healing old fears, old anxieties on Friday, finally putting a few things to bed and understanding that the dark experiences, difficult experiences we went through have actually brought us powerful lessons, have brought us up to another level. But it's reminding us not to play victim. Absolutely must not fall into victimhood, no matter what the politicians are doing, no matter what the WEF is doing, no matter what the dark controllers are doing. We must not fall into victim energy. We must stay, I want to say high and proud for some reason. I've got flooding coming into my mind there, so there may be some flooding, but we need to stay high and proud. We need to take full responsibility for our lives. We need to embody that Aries energy where Aries goes, fuck that, I'm doing this. And I don't care, I'm doing this because that's what I want to do. So it is exciting energy. It brings a great opportunity, I think, for more freedom as well. There is an opportunity for more freedom, but we must step up and take the freedom for ourselves and not wait for it to be offered to us, okay? Because your jailer is never going to offer you the key to your cell. But if you can see it and reach it, you can grab it for yourself and open the door. Okay, and that's what I think the universe is asking us to do on Friday. If you can see the key and reach the key, get the fucking key and open the fucking door. Yes, I swear a lot, deal with it. So anyone who's offended, sorry, bye. And see, there's that Aries energy coming in there. It's not compromising. We don't compromise when we're in Arian energy, okay? We just charge forward. We don't care if we offend people, all right? That's how we need to be on Friday, and that's okay. And swear if you need to, absolutely fine with that, or cussing, as I think they call it across the pond. Never understood why you guys call it that. If somebody can explain the origin of that word to me, it might be an older word or something. Just sounds odd when I hear it. Right, learn to rest, not to quit, but number one. Okay, so yes, it may feel a little bit overwhelming if you're really striking out on your own or making some new decisions. It may seem like it's a lot on your plate, or it may seem like there's a lot going on, but that's okay. Learn to rest, not to quit reminds us that, yes, again, it's that old adage that I keep saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Number one comes in with Aries energy. Yes, Aries gets tired, but Aries knows to have a nap. Okay, Aries might not want to have a nap, but the Ram does know in his wisdom that sometimes it's time to sleep, and then it's time to get up and carry on charging or racing around, eating grass, whatever it is he wants to do. Because there is a time and a season for everything. Absolutely a time and a season for everything. You don't have to do everything at once, even if it feels like you want to today. You might feel like you want to achieve 10 things at once. You can't do that. Okay, you can try, but it's probably not the best to do that. Just because the door's open doesn't mean you have to try and do all the things at once. But at the same time, do it your way, but with the collective in mind. And I think this is one of the most important lessons moving into the age of Aquarius, that yes, we are all unique and we are all one. And it comes in that rather altruistic 31-4. And I want to say, yes, we are all different. So we all have different ways of doing things. But as long as we keep the collective in mind, and as long as we do it with the right vibration, we do it with the right intention and purpose in mind, that we are genuinely helping people, not doing it just to help ourselves and to hell with everybody else. You know, we genuinely want to do the right thing for the right reasons, because Aries still is sensitive. And again, I'm going back to Aries energy with this card, because yes, Aries is very pig-headed, but thinks that they know best, but they're also very loving, very passionate, you know, ruled by Mars. And Mars in a more positive aspect can be a really loving, protective, masculine energy. So do remember on Friday that whatever you're doing, and I'm speaking to everybody at this point, I'm speaking to the politicians, not that they're probably watching, but on some level I hope they hear this. Whatever it is that you do, keep the collective in mind, do the right thing for the right reasons now, because this is ultimately what we need to do the more we move into the energy of the age of Aquarius. So, on that bombshell, we are going to move on to Saturday now. Let's pop these cards away. So, okay. Saturday's cards we have King Arthur. Oh, wow. We have the Nine of Earth. And we have the Ant Spirit. Okay. Ooh. Interesting blend. Isn't that interesting? So again, leading on from Friday's energy, King Arthur is the ruler who was there to rule and take care of his subjects. You know, he wasn't a tyrant, he wasn't selfish, he was there trying to do the right thing, trying to listen to all the voices, with the Knights of the Round Table, where everyone had an equal opportunity to speak up and no one was seen as really higher or more worthy than the next person. And it comes in with the ant spirit as well, which is all about collaboration, because ants do work together. Yes, they're lots of tiny little pieces of the jigsaw. They're lots of tiny little workers, but boy, do they work together. They work as a collective. They do not work individually. You know, we don't exactly know how ants communicate. I know there are chemical ways that they communicate, but they're kind of almost like the Borg, but in a slightly less terrifying way. Because they do all work for the common good, for their common good. They know to help each other. They know when someone's in danger. They know to protect each other, to protect the nest. So there is very much this collaborative feel on Saturday. This bringing your gifts to the table, working with the other powers, working with the other people. But it's kind of working alone and working together, being alone and being together, being on your path and being on the path all together at the same time. Right, you cannot raise others up by lowering yourself down. Yes, and it's so important that we all go in the right direction. So if you're trying to help other people, move forwards. If you're trying to support other people, show them how it's done. You know, achieve. lift yourself up, do the good thing, do the good deed, show people how it's done, lead by example, I think is the message I want to bring in for Saturday. Lead by example, because you can't raise others up by lowering yourself down. It simply won't work. Very wise, number 50 coming in here too as well. Very interesting energy. So there may be an impulse actually to, I mean, the Nine of Earth is an interesting one. It can be about money, can be about self-employment. There may be an impulse here to perhaps start a business or move into a business that you've already started that you want to build on. So how do you build on what you've already created on 44-8? Yeah, again, 44-8, we can be going into money here. We can literally be thinking about how we earn money in the world and how we do that and what we do to achieve our goals. You know, and it doesn't have to be fiat money. It could be cryptocurrency that you earn. It could be that you barter. It could be that you accept gold and silver donations, you know. It could be that you have a YouTube channel and you monetize that way so people don't have to pay you directly, you know. There are all of these ways that we can live our lives. All of them valid, of course, but some of them more positive and easier than others. And I want to say, if there is a way that you can bring more ease into your life, then do it and show other people how to do it as well. Lift other people up as you're doing it too. And remember that many people are still struggling, you know, they are still living in the old energy, living in the old system. And it may not have even occurred to them that there's a new way of doing things. You know, you may suggest something that's so far out of their comfort zone, so far off their radar that it just seems utterly ridiculous to them. And they might dismiss you out of hand, but that's okay. And I think that's why you need to be a leader and show people how it's done. And again, we are all unique, but we're all one. So what I want to say with this energy is that it's very much about leading by example on Saturday. How can you be an example to others? How can you step up and lead the way? And with this card, I mean, you know, I do often talk about how when you do something for yourself, it helps other people by osmosis. You know, when you heal yourself, it helps to heal the collective, and therefore it helps to heal other people, you know, without them directly having to do anything. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath now because the electricity just came back on and I ran downstairs to check on my bread maker. Nightmare. Okay. But yes, when we do things for ourselves, when we do healing on ourselves, yes, it does help other people by osmosis, but it's not just about that today. I feel Saturday is about leading by example, being the person that other people can see. You know, when one ant starts to do something, the other ants all follow along behind it. You know, one ant walks a trail, leaves a trail, and the other ants walk behind it. They follow the chemical trail, I believe, that it leaves behind. And I think this is kind of the energy that we've got on Saturday. It is about leading by example, showing the way for others, you know, breaking the door down for other people, opening doors for other people so that they can live more expansive, more satisfying lives, I think, as well here. I don't know if you remember a computer game called Lemmings. I don't know if that still exists. It certainly did in the 90s. I remember a friend of mine, her brother was absolutely obsessed with playing Lemmings the whole time. But you get one lemming to start doing something and then all of the other lemmings would start doing it as well. And that's kind of the energy I have here. Only we're not lemmings. And lemmings are very intelligent creatures. You know, they're not stupid at all. It is about monkey see, monkey do, I want to say on Saturday. So lead by example. Show other people the way, and think about how you can build and grow in your own life for yourself, but also for the collective. So we will move on to Sunday now. So I apologise if you hear my cat. He's just woken up. He slept through the whole power cut, had no idea anything had happened, and now he's woken up, so he might be trying to get in. Okay. So Sunday's cards, we have companions. Straight in with the collective. The 5 of Fire, competing goals. Number 14, the chameleon spirit, act as if. And we also have number 26, the flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Ooh, in-betweeny energy. That's always fun. I don't mean the in-betweeners, although that was pretty funny. Okay. So what do we have here? Ah, yes, being pulled in more than one direction at once. Okay. The energy on Sunday kind of feels like the old world meeting the new world and clashing and, you know, not really understanding each other. So it may be that there are still people in your life that really are not on your wavelength, that you still find very difficult to deal with because you have very differing opinions or differing experiences in certain parts of your lives, particularly spiritual experiences. You know, that can be very difficult when you're surrounded by someone who has such a different appearance and who really clashes with you and makes no attempt to even understand where you're coming from, you know, has no desire to understand what you're trying to tell them, or that you just don't gel with, don't mesh with anymore, find it very, very difficult to get on with. So it could be a day where you are surrounded by people like that. And you might have to just go along to get along with the chameleon. You might just have to fit in a little bit because there's something of a disruptive energy on Sunday. And it may feel kind of like you're one foot in one world and one foot in another world in some respects. So it may be that you're in a transitional phase in your life, moving away from one group of people, maybe as friends or colleagues, to another group of people, but you're still kind of in contact with both. And it can feel very, very strange when you're in that sort of in-between space. And this is what the flamingo is talking about. Embrace the in-between, that in-betweeny 26-8. It's difficult because the heart knows it's made its choice, but it can't stop and jump. It has to keep going, and there is that transitional phase that has to happen. But at the same time, there is a reminder that there's a lot of support here of your tribe, all of these dragons together, they are companions. There is a lot of support regardless of who is around you. It feels like there are still people who do care about you. And I feel that your soul group is there with you as well. Your angels are there with you as well too. So it is a beautiful day for gratitude, because we have gratitude isn't about being small, it's about opening your arms wide. So it's all about receiving, coming in on that very hopeful and positive, and somewhat wise 17-8 as well. This is a day where you can really increase your own personal wisdom, perhaps through difficult experiences or dealing with difficult people. Take time to heal on number 4. Yeah, go easy on yourself on Sunday. Everybody's teaching you something about yourself on 15-6. Devil energy. Yeah. I mean, it's very much if you're having to spend time with people that you don't like or interacting with people that you don't get on with, see what they're teaching you about yourself. Why are you reacting to them? What is it? Which button are they pushing? What is it that they're doing? What unhealed part of you are they bringing to light? Because everyone that triggers you is showing you something about yourself. Everyone that makes you annoyed, makes you react, makes you angry, they're showing you something about yourself. What is it that you can heal within yourself? What is it that you can take the time to work on within yourself? And it doesn't mean you have to like the person, you know, but on a spiritual level, they're still showing you something. And as we heal and grow, we will notice that the people around us start to act and react differently towards us, which can be very interesting when we do our healing work. And there is this reminder that regardless of how challenging Sunday is, you are loved. There's so much love in the system there. And it comes in on 37-10-1. So it comes in with the wisdom of knowing that things are happening for a reason and change is definitely coming too. You know, you will be able to make the decisions on Monday or when you get away from this particular gathering, this particular situation, or it might just be arguing with people online, which isn't helpful either. But things can come into balance. You know, we've got number 14. Things can come into balance. The world can come to balance with the self. It doesn't have to be as difficult or as hard as it might feel. There is a lot of possibility, a lot of opportunity. It's a good day for a gratitude practice because the people who challenge us the most are the ones who teach us the most as well. I'm not going to say spend a lot of time with them, but be thankful for what they teach you when you're there. It is a good day for meditation, contemplation. You know, if you feel like you need to spend time on your own to stay away from disruptive influences, do it. That's absolutely fine too, because you may literally need to take some time out to do some healing today. You may literally need to spend some time on your own. And remember who you are. So that card coming up again with the very wise 11-2. You are the I am presence. You are God. You are goddess. You are the divine in human form. And there is that reminder that you are the divine in human form, and everybody is. And it's interesting, I've actually put these in a cross. I hadn't realised I'd done that. I put cards out intuitively. I don't have any particular spread. When I work with them, they just go where they go. But remember in the here and now who you are. Okay, remember who you truly are. So it may be a beautiful day to meditate, contemplate your life and see where it's going, see what it is that you're doing, you know, and understand that Some people in your life are there for a reason, okay? Even the difficult people, they're there for a reason. They may be there to spur you on to do something to get away from them. It could be as simple as that. But everything in your life is there for a reason, even when it's difficult, even when you're struggling, even when you're juggling too many balls at once, even when it's frustrating. So try to find the things to be grateful for to get through today. Spend time on your own if you need to. And remember that you are that sovereign being. On 21.3, you are that sovereign divine being that I was talking about. Remember who you are. You're a sovereign being. You get to make your decisions now. You get to be the spiritual grown-up, okay? No one else has the right to make those decisions for you, be it family, parents, be it governments, people who call themselves authorities. They have no right to do that, okay? You are an individual soul, a sovereign being, just like they are. They are responsible for themselves. And they only get to make the decisions for you if you abdicate that responsibility. And for the sake of argument, I want an easy life, I'm just going to let them do that. No, don't do that. I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. Little reminder there, you're a sovereign being. You need to be making your own decisions, making your own choices. There's also a lot of love around. I mean, love is all around you always. 54.9, so much love in the system. So much that we can tap into, even on such a difficult day when we're going to be feeling so challenged, potentially. So much love, so much support around you. If necessary, I want to say as well, seek out your tribe. People are winding you up. Seek out your tribe with these lovely companion dragons here. Let's get that card out. Seek out the people that you do resonate with. Talk to them. Spend time with them. Go retreat into this energy here so that you do feel supported. The people who remind you who you really are, the people who uplift you, who say yes, you can do what you want to do, you can achieve what you want to achieve, you can be all that you wish to be, you can experience all that you wish to experience. Not the ones that pull you down and say, oh well, what can you do about it, there's nothing we can do, we might as well just go along with it so we don't get told off by teacher. No, we're not children anymore, bollocks to that. Sometimes you have to fit in, but you don't have to make that your whole life. You can sort of have one foot in one world and one foot in the other and be very, very aware of who you are at the same time. So let's move on to our spiritual guidance message now. Our cards this week, we have the Novice on number 5. We have the Stag on number 17. And we have Love. There's so much love in the system. Interesting, that card, that comes in on a 45.9. One of those other cards was a 45.9 as well. Let me grab that one. Oh, it was a 54.9. Look at that. But those repeating numbers, that's really interesting. I didn't know that when I wrote that card. So we've got very wise 9 energy coming through with the love there. So it's coming through from our wisdom, from our higher self, of learning how to experience love, learning how to experience the world, learning experientially through love. So it does feel very much, and the interesting message we have for this week from our spirit guides is, yes, take the lead. And I was saying this with the King Arthur card. It is time for us to step up and take the lead, even if we don't know everything yet. So you might think, well, how can the novice possibly lead? Well, the novice can lead children. The novice can lead a dog that doesn't know the way. If you know more than the next person, if you have more knowledge, more experience than the next person, you can help them up onto the next step. In fact, you're probably better placed to help them up onto the next step than the person who's 100 steps above you, because they won't be able to reach them. Okay, literally, their arms just aren't long enough unless they're Mr. Tickle. They're not going to be able to do that. You only need to be one step ahead of somebody to lead them forwards, to guide them, to hold out your hand and help lift them up. And this week is all about lifting up other people, lifting up ourselves, yes, stepping forwards and helping other people to come with us if that's what they want to do. Obviously, we don't do it for them. We're not about enabling people being lazy here, because that won't take them forwards at all. But it is about this old staircase here that we've all been up many times before in different lifetimes. And we walk this path with love. We are here in this lifetime to love, to experience love and everything that goes with it. And I mean that on every single level, love in every single aspect of itself, the human love, on all of its levels, but also spiritual love to experience the universe and love. What is that? Ultimately, well, that is the energy of the divine, because that's all there is. It's all that's actually real when it comes down to it. So there is this I want to say desire to lead. There's a desire to lead, a desire to step forwards. It may be that you're starting a course, you're having a business offering for people, or you have a YouTube channel, or you just want to get your voice out there in some way. You might be writing a book, it feels like really trying to get your information out there. Because look at the stag, look at him, he's got his mouth open, he's calling to his herd, he's calling to his tribe. Yes, he is there, he is leading others, but the other people need to know where he is. The other deer need to know where he is. He needs to call them forward. So it feels very much like a week to use your voice in some way, shape or form. Whether it's, actual speaking, whether it's writing things down, whether it's electronically that you're getting messages to people. Communication is so important this week. Very hopeful as well, very hopeful communication. But I want to say lead from your mystical side this week. Allow that to lead, allow that to help others to come forwards with you. It feels like with 17.8 and the 5 there, it feels like the mystical self leading the mind, because the human mind knows a lot less than the higher mind does. Okay, always remember that the higher mind has the higher ground, so it knows more about what's going on. There may be something to do with spirit communication here, so it may be that you are literally learning about spirit communication. You might be developing your mediumship, or you might be working with your mediumship if that's something you already do. You may be bringing through messages, channeling messages from higher realms, from higher dimensions, from off planet. You may literally be bringing through information for other people, or you may be translating something. You may be studying and looking at old magical texts, from antiquity that have been forgotten, that contain great knowledge that people can benefit from. Whatever it is, whatever you're translating, bringing through, whatever it is that you have to say it. Whatever it is that you bring, the message that you bring for other people, bring it. Make sure they can hear you. Bellow it from on high. Let them hear you. But also remember that you don't know everything. There's definitely we need to be a little bit humble here. We need to remember that we are still in human form. We don't know everything, of course. It's so important to have humility this week as well. Yes, we're here to help and support others, but we do it with love, we do it with humility, we do it with compassion. And the best type of leader is the one that doesn't actually have to do very much. And it's interesting because today is October 23rd, and my little calendar here, my Wayne Dyer calendar, which is based around the Tao Te Ching, actually says, the best governor governs least. And that seems very strongly to be the message for this coming week commencing the 24th. The best leader doesn't really need to do anything at all. Okay, they're there to lead, not to, beat people up or force them to do things their own way. They naturally lead, they naturally exude that energy so that people know, oh, that's the person to watch. We'll do what they're doing, we'll watch where they're going, and, that will help to guide us. So stay humble, but stay curious as well about what is to come. It may be time to go back to some sort of study. It may be that you need to check in with your guides. Make sure that you're doing, I don't want to say the right thing from your spiritual path. It may just be that there's something else for you to do at the moment, something that would be more satisfying, something that would be more fulfilling. Fulfillment, I think spiritual fulfillment will be coming up as a theme this week to look at. You might be studying a particular holistic therapy, you may have been doing it for a long time, and you may have reached a point where you're like, this isn't really doing it for me anymore. I feel like there's something else, something more that I need to do. I feel like I've kind of gone stale doing this, and I would like to spread into something different. Or it may be that you're working a regular job and you want some more meaning in your life. I think that's incredibly important this week, is to that search for meaning in our lives. And at the same time, boundaries. No is a complete sentence. Yes, I spelt that wrong on purpose because there is the energy of tension that comes in. So there may be a little bit of stress, but it's okay. You may not feel comfortable saying no to people. Okay, that's true for a lot of us who are spiritually minded, a lot of us who are empaths. We find it very difficult to say no to people, but it is time to do that, because we have to have our boundaries so that we can build our own castle. So we've got Master Builder number 24/6 there, and we can only build if we have our energy to build. If we're giving our energy to everybody else, we can't work on our own projects. So it's so important to pull your energy back and do what it is that you need to do right now. And remember as well, if you're an empath, that there is no lack in the world. So if somebody appears to be lacking in financial ways or in any way, shape or form, it's because energetically they're not a match for the things that they want, and they need to work on that. Yes, you can lead the way, you can show them how to do it, you can show them the path, show them where the door is, but they have to walk through it. You can't fix that for them. Love is not enabling other people's laziness. Love is not about enabling other people's refusal to do their healing work. Okay, it's about showing them where the door is, being there, loving and supporting them, but not taking any shit either. You know, there is no lack in the world. 34-7, we come to 7, the number of the mystic. There really isn't, and we can literally create from nothing, because we are these amazing energetic beings. We live in this incredible energetic universe. Yes, there are rules to the universe, but one of the rules is that energy is everything, and everything is energy. And energy can't be created or destroyed. So the energy is always there around us. It's just there for us to transform into what we want it to be. So we can turn energy that we might consider negative into a positive. Okay, we can transform, we can transmute. There's an energy of alchemy. There's this real alchemical potential here, but we are still novices at working with those energies. So it's okay that we can't just click our fingers, you know, and have like a bag of gold fall into our lap, although that would be quite nice. And what you resist healing in yourself persists. Yeah, there is a message here. Again, it's how to help the collective on that very spiritual 22-4, the feet of the goddess. What you resist healing in yourself persists in your life, and also persists in the collective. And like I've said before, you know, yes, the things that we heal in ourselves, it's like we help other souls as well to heal on that level, to do with that particular subject. But it's more than that. You know, what you resist healing in yourself persists in your life as well. So if you haven't healed certain wounds, you may find yourself being pushed around by other people unfairly, or you may find yourself suffering or struggling if you haven't done certain amounts of healing for certain things, whatever it is, you know, that's pertinent for you and your lifetime, because that's different for everybody. You know, what the healing that I need to do may not be the healing that you need to do at all. It may not affect you at all. It may not be something that's ever been a problem for you. So we are all unique there. So there is the reminder as well with the novice energy to stay open-minded, because the things that we need to heal within ourselves may not apply to others, and we need to not be arrogant this week. We need to stay humble. Yes, boundaries are definitely a thing. There is no lack. There is so much love all around of us. So look at what you can heal and where you can grow, where you can step up and be that spiritual leader this week, because the world needs you. Quite frankly, the world needs more spiritual leaders right now, coming from a place of true love, you know, really coming from that internal humble love and dedication to wanting to serve humankind, serve the world, and genuinely, you know, serve God, I suppose, serve the higher power at the same time. And it's not about playing small, because there's no lack. You can really achieve and grow this week, but remember to take the other people with you. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end with me, if you can put in the comments for me the stag, I would like to see that. Or you can put an emoji of a stag if you can find one. That would be cute too. Please do remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that really does make a big difference to me. If you can comment, that would be so helpful. Put a useful comment, because the YouTube algorithm really pays attention to comments and interaction at the moment, even more so than subscribers. And please do remember that I do have my new tarot reading channel, which is Cosmic Dragon Tarot. I will link to that below. There will be many timeless readings coming on there, and more tarot readings. If there's something that you would like me to do a timeless reading on, please leave me a comment, you know, leave a message so that I know what it is that you'd like me to do. Have a wonderful week. Be that beautiful, incredible spiritual leader for others, and I will see you all again very soon.